Welcome. My name is Angela, and I'm here to share with you a prenatal yoga practice. Before we begin, if you could gather any props or things that you can use as props for your practice that would feel supportive, a mat or a towel or blanket, folding your blanket or your towel underneath your hips so you can sit up on a little height. Also, if you have blocks or something you can use as blocks, such as books, water bottles, soup boxes, anything that you can stack and have some support. You can also just use a couch or a chair or a stool, something to elevate. And also, if you have a pillow or a bolster or a cushion or something that you can use to support might be helpful. Water, space, and something comfortable to wear. So taking a moment to find your center, to gather the things that would feel supportive and nurturing. And coming to sit on the edge of a seat, I invite you to maybe wiggle around a bit just to kind of get connected to the moment. And allowing your eyes to find a soft gaze or perhaps close, finding maybe somewhere in between. And take a few moments connecting with your breath, just noticing the sensation of your breath, the quality of your breath, the sound of your breath. And placing your hands anywhere on your body that would feel supportive, perhaps a hand to your belly and a hand to your heart, perhaps hands on your lap, palms face up or face down. And just open to receive your breath. Allowing the weight of your sitting bones to really be held by the support beneath you. Invitation to soften your outer edges. Maybe soften into listening to your inner voice. And just knowing that the goal here really isn't to push anything away. It's simply to be present with what is here now. And if you're feeling ready to begin, I invite you to join me in 3 grounding breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And either keeping your hands where they are or perhaps joining them together at heart center. We'll begin with this hum. You may join or listen. And take an inhale to prepare. Releasing your hands to your lap and reaching your hands to the sky, keeping your hands whatever distance feels supportive in your joints and your shoulders, just opening up your branches like you're a tree, sending roots from your pelvis down into the earth, reaching your branches to the sky and stretching your breath all the way from roots to branches. And on the exhale, flip your palms down, lowering your hands toward the earth. Inhale, sweep to the sky. Exhale, lowering down to the earth. And keep doing this in the rhythm of your breath, knowing that this is your practice. If anything that I'm cueing does not feel supportive or accessible or safe in your body, please stop doing it and pick back up when you're ready. The next time you breathe in and sweep your hands up, grab one wrist and really snuggle your sitting bones deeper into the mat, and then side crescent. Just opening the sides of your body, the sides of your rib cage, making more space for your breath. And then releasing through the center. Big bright breath. Exhale to the opposite side. So these side crescents are super helpful for creating space for your breath as your baby grows. And there's less space for your lung capacity. Really opening up the sides and the back of your body will help your lungs be able to expand in different directions. A couple more times to each side. And then releasing your hands to your lap, beginning a few circles in one direction. So just working towards moving our spine and all of the ranges of motion. The first one we did was lateral flexion. This is circumduction. And this can be slow and gentle. If you need a little more energy, you can pick up the pace a bit. Just allowing this motion to be an exploration. As you feel ready, switch directions. Staying connected to your breath. Just notice if there are any places where your breath feels like you are holding it or jagged or rough. Work on creating a little more fluidity and flow. Returning your spine to the center. And now let's open up. So take your hands. You can bring your feet together, knees wide, if that position feels good, or if you're still sitting with your legs crossed, your choice. Glide your palms up your thighs, draw your shoulder blades together, and send your heart forward for some extension of the spine. Maybe gaze up. Almost imagine like your collarbones could smile. And then exhale, round in, curl in, making a C shape around your baby. Maybe even giving your baby a little kiss, like blowing them a little kiss. Sending an acknowledgement. And then as you feel ready, either moving slowly through these two shapes or perhaps creating a little bit more flow between the two. Extension of the spine, flexion of the spine. Again, allowing your breath to guide the way. And as you feel ready, returning to the center, and we'll take a rotation of the spine. So heavying your pelvis into the floor, keeping that connection. Inhale, sweep your hands to the sky. And exhale, rotate. Your gaze can stay forward or to the side or to the back, just taking a moment to notice the shape of your neck. So for many of us, drawing your chin back and lengthening through the sides of the neck help us draw our cervical curve in the neck back into a more optimal alignment. And from there, then perhaps explore with turning of the gaze and the neck. Inhale to unwind, keeping that fullness, that breath. And then exhale, rotating to the opposite side. And again, taking this time in this exploration, draw your chin back, sides of the neck long, and then perhaps shift the angle of your neck and your gaze. And as you feel called to each side, either moving slowly or making it be more of a dance. Inhaling through the center, and we'll join in a little lateral glide. And then roll at the wrists, bringing your hands in front of you. You may have noticed at this point, but when you're pregnant, your body releases a hormone called relaxin, which causes all of your joints to loosen up. If it could specify to the pelvis, that would be really nice, but it's going to everything. So you might have noticed some more wrist pain or joint pain or instability at this point. And when you're ready, switch directions. So really taking time to warm up and bring attention to your joints is really key for maintaining stability and space during pregnancy. And if you'd like to give a little forearm and wrist stretch here. And breathing. Maybe even open and close your hands. Interlace your fingers together and make some little infinity signs in one direction and in the other direction. I think I switched directions. It's a little brain teaser. And then bringing your legs back together, drawing your body into all fours. You can pad up your knees. Again, taking each moment as it comes, being present with your body as it is in this now moment. And I like to have blocks under my hands. You can also, if your wrists are challenged, come up onto fists or down onto forearms. Tucking your toes under. And then draw your baby towards the back of your body. So almost like your abdominal muscles are a hammock. Hug your baby with the hammock of your muscles. Just giving a gentle squeeze, a gentle hug to your baby. And see if you can bring more breath into the back of your heart, the back of your lungs. And lengthen your spine all the way from the tailbone to the crown of your head. And then maybe begin to explore in some gentle flowing rhythms. In a laboring person, these flowing rhythms support opening, they support relaxation and meditation. So just tuning into that inner voice, that inner wisdom that when we're really in a space of receptivity, even in the space of labor, listening to those natural instincts can help guide the way. And practicing doing this in little bits and pieces during your pregnancy can give you, maybe help you access that a little more easily. But it's a practice, right? Staying connected to your breath. And then coming back through the center. And if you are down, you can stay down if you'd like to come back up. And then we're going to do some of those flexion and extensions here in this different shape. So pressing into cat pose. See if you can bring more breath into the back of your body. Saying, hey, baby, or babies. And then soften your belly down towards the mat and slightly lift your tailbone. So not going too deep into extension, into the cow pose during pregnancy. Think of it more of a lengthening of the spine and a softening of your heart. And then as you feel called, flowing between these two shapes or holding, just connect to your breath. Connect to your baby. Allowing your body to flow through this moment, unique in its expression. And then coming back through the center. Bring your knees wide and your big toes to touch and send your hips back. So we're moving towards a child's pose, which is a great stretch for your hips during pregnancy. And you can, the depth here is your choice. So if you'd like to be upright, if you'd like to lower down, you can lower down to blocks. Just the idea here as we're stretching is also to create space for your baby. That's why the knees wide. That's why the blocks and the props. And if you like to go down lower, then you can also stack your fists one on top of the other or forehead to mat and extend long. So you have lots of options here. Just taking a moment here to listen, to breathe. Again, knowing you have the autonomy to change positions, to pause, to join as you feel ready. And even in this shape, let's take a few of those grounding breaths. So in through the nose and out through the mouth. Whisper ha as you breathe out. And as you continue to whisper ha, maybe you start to feel those abdominal muscles, the transverse abdominis, the deepest layer of your abs, the ones that we talked about as being a hammock for your baby. Just gently hugging around your baby, drawing in, snuggling your baby deeper and toward the back of your spine. And as you inhale, soften your belly, release those muscles. Exhale, whisper ha, draw those deep abdominal muscles in. Inhale, soften. And continue just in this way for a few breaths. And if you're feeling like you're ready to add on to this, then when you whisper ha and draw your belly muscles in, maybe notice a slight contraction of your pelvic floor. The pelvic floor and the transverse abdominis, they like to fire together. So drawing the pelvic floor muscles in and up like you're trying to stop the flow of urine. And then exhale, release your pelvic floor, release your abs. And this, again, this is to the degree of your comfort. Just see if you can find a gentle flow between relaxation and contraction. I almost said relaxation. That's a funny one. Take about 3 to 5 more breaths. And gently release your breath, release the pose, rising up. If this feels okay, tucking your toes under and sitting your hips back just to get a little attention to the toe joints. If this is not accessible or does not feel good, you can just come down onto the tops of your feet. But this breath, this ha breath that we were just working on, that's your core work during pregnancy. So your muscles are already getting a big workout by growing and stretching to grow a baby. So using that deep transverse abdominis to hug and draw in. And when you're ready, adding the pelvic floor contraction, that helps to build strength from the inside. And it'll be really key in your healing postpartum. All right, good job on those toes. So when you're ready, bring your right foot to the front with your hands to the inside. And again, this is a great place for blocks. Patting of the knee. If this doesn't feel like you have enough space here, you can always come up. But if you're down low, energetically draw your right foot and your left knee in towards the center of the mat. That helps activate your muscles so that when we start to stretch a little bit, you'll be coming from a place of strength. Also, gaze down at your hands. Make sure that your wrist creases are parallel to the short edge of your mat. And spread your fingers wide and grip the surface beneath you. That helps create stability in your wrists. And then sending your hips back, perhaps dorsiflexing your right foot to get a gentle stretch in your hamstrings. And again, just notice where your body is feeling the most supported. If you want to raise your blocks or even come up here or lean on a chair or a couch. And then as you feel ready, bending into your front knee, sinking down, allowing your back hip to feel a little stretch, perhaps down your thigh. And giving yourself a little moment to explore here. So if you'd like, just like we've been doing in the exploration, so if you'd like to pulse forward and backwards or pause, just notice where your body is feeling ready to go today. And it might change if you do this class again, with your body changing so much in pregnancy, you're likely to feel different week to week, day to day, hour to hour. Either staying here, finding stillness, perhaps moving back to child's pose. If you're wanting to have a little more exploration in your hip joint, maybe begin to invite some circular motions in your hip. Almost like your thigh bone, your femur is stirring a little cup of tea in the socket, the cup of your hip joint. The hip joint is ball and socket joint. So these rounded motions are helpful for your joint. And if you're circling in one direction, try the other direction. Keeping your baby hugging in towards the back of your body. Whispering Hajj, really slowing down, listening, breathing, feeling. And then as you feel ready, walk your foot out to the side. Move this way so you can see me a little better. For a little gate pose exploration. So you can come down onto your blocks. You can stay upright, but really hugging your extended foot towards the center of your mat and drawing your bent knee into the center of your mat too. So you're coming from a place of centered connection, muscle energy, stabilizing energy. And then if you'd like to experiment with a little gentle cow and cat pose here. So using your muscles in service to your flow. It's like riverbanks in a river. And again, continuing the exploration in the way that serves you best, or perhaps drawing your knee back together, maybe coming off of your wrists and getting a little wrist stretch. And then we'll switch sides. I'll stay in this plane so you can see me. Bring your left foot forward. Again, hands to the inside, making space for your baby. And whatever angle you did on the other side, if you were down or if you were up, find that so we can stay as symmetrical as possible. Hugging your muscles to your bones, drawing your front foot and your back knee towards the midline, keeping that strength. Then begin to send your hips back for a half split Ardha Hanumanasana. Draw your heel that's in front of you down, like stamp it down into your mat and draw it back energetically. So that creates that strength so that we can find length safely. And breathe. And as you feel ready, bring your body forward, lunging into your hip. Hugging in, hugging your baby with your belly muscles. And then again, as we did before, as you feel called, forward, backward. Allowing your breath to lead the way. Noticing perhaps a difference on this side. And as you feel called, creating some of those circular shapes. So because of that relaxin hormone, you may feel more flexible than you have in your life. And just so you know, this is not the time to be testing the limits of your flexibility because it's a false sense of flexibility. You might be able to stretch, but it might not be supportive for your body, and there could be a greater risk of injury. So coming from a place of strength and connection so that we don't overstretch is really important here. And listening to your body and knowing your limits and honoring your limits. I know that's a hard one sometimes. And switching directions if you're in this exploration. And as you're ready, walking your left foot out to the side for this Parigasana gate pose option modification. And again, either staying up or if you'd like to come down onto your forearms, giving a little gentle cat-cow. And as you feel ready, gently drawing your foot back into the center, sitting back on your knees. And as you feel ready, you can do this by placing your hands behind you or perhaps on your low back, and then sending your heart to the sky. So this is your prenatal back bend versus a belly down back bend. I'll do just a couple of vinyasas here for prenatal. So glide your hands to the front. We'll have lots of options. So you can stay here, just hugging your muscles around your bones, around your baby. You can move through the cat-cow. If you're feeling like you want a little more, then walk your hands out. Bend your knees, cross your ankles, glide forward, hugging your elbows in, keeping that connection to the center, then perhaps lower down halfway and then press back up. And wherever you are, coming back through the center, hands to the floor or to your sacrum, your hips, giving your back an extension. We'll do that a few times, that prenatal vinyasa. So sliding forward, again, moving either through your cat-cow or perhaps through a gentle push-up. And if you want more, you could do a few push-ups. Hands behind you, open your heart. Just do a few more in the rhythm of your breath, a rhythm that feels supportive in your body. Just allowing your breath to lead the way. Finishing this last one that you're on. And then joining me on your bottom. Good job. Sometimes in a yoga practice, you don't even have to stand up. If you wanted to add on to this, for the sake of time, I will not be offering a full round of sun salutation, but this would be the vinyasa part of your sun salutation. So placing your hands behind you, heels in front of you, give a gentle windshield wiper to your knees, side to side. Either staying here if you like to cross one ankle over and kind of get deeper into that hip stretch. I have a lot of students who love this pose for tailbone pain. So thinking about that could be helpful, or maybe even preventing that. And then releasing, switching sides. And again, noticing your connection to your breath, maybe noticing if the quality of your breath has changed. And then we're going to do, so either staying here or just like coming up if you're ready. This is a one that I think is a helpful hip exercise. So if you're windshield wipering, allow your knees to fall to one side. And then begin to invite a little rotation into your body here. And either staying here, or if you'd like to move into a little more muscular energy, then placing your back. So I'm rotating to my right. Place your right hand down on the mat and then lift your hips off the mat. A little mermaid stretch. Just some options. And then maybe a little windshield wiper in between. And then we'll try this on the other side. And again, pausing anywhere that feels like your body has said, this is my limit. Making space for your breath. And then if you're moving with me through that merperson stretch, lower your left hand to the ground, lift your hips off the mat, maybe sweep up. And lower back down. Extending your legs wide. This is a sweet place to have your pillows or bolsters or blocks here to give yourself some support and some space. If you have an exercise ball, this was one of my favorite poses to do prenatally. So you can take the ball in front of you and rest your arms on it and slowly rock side to side. Otherwise, whatever is working for you, just walking your hands forward, giving yourself this space to bow in and connect to your breath in this moment. In these final moments of practice, just allowing the air energy, that expansive possibility, offering your gifts to your baby. Maybe even beginning to offer yourself some words of encouragement. You're doing a great job. And taking care of yourself is vital to taking care of your baby. Feeling into your body and what you need in this moment. Gently press yourself up. If you'd like to take a rest, finding a comfortable position on your left side with a pillow or a blanket between your knees and your ankles. Otherwise, taking a moment to close our practice in seated meditation. And if you're seated, exploring either a soft gaze or closing your eyelids or somewhere in between. And joining your palms to your belly and your heart, or perhaps in your lap. Reflecting on the nature of your breath. How your body's feeling after this prenatal practice. Reflecting on the connection of your breath and your baby's oxygen supply, how you're breathing, not only for you, but also for your little one or little ones. We'll join together if you're feeling ready for 3 grounding breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Joining your palms together at heart center. If you'd like to join me for our closing hum to seal our practice, take an inhale to prepare. May the merit of our practice contribute to the happiness, freedom, and well-being of all. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace.